same energy. Work on being better when I'm 70. Your drip is just a water spring. You know I drip different, just the 7 seas. I deal with life different, make that lemon squeeze. Went off for my style and identity. Better bounce back and get the cheddar cheese. I guess that's why they envy me.
Guys, welcome to another live stream. I hope you can hear me right now. Welcome back to the channel. Let me know if you can hear me, and we will get straight into another banger of a live stream where we talk about facts and not hopium, but we do need some hopium, to be honest. Thank you very much for the thumbs up there. I can see in Belter, I can see many of you. Pratik, shout out to everyone on the live stream. And let's effing go. Let's go straight into this. Guys, we are seeing a level of market uncertainty, mainly due to the absolute weakening of this rate cut. Now, this is something we anticipated. We obviously wanted the odds. In fact, the odds went from 90% odd, 96% to right now 44%. And this is why big players have been moving out of the market. Anything less than that is hopium. We are at a 55% for the rates to remain the same. Now, many people are not talking about this right now, and they're just saying what's happening, what's going on. Well, the macro picture is really, really crap at the moment. We know G20 economies are under pressure. We've got news of the Japanese bond market. We've got Chinese housing default going at a record pace. So the picture right now, despite what you've been told, or what I've been told even, is yes, we are, in terms of the 4-year cycle, I think that conversation will be done with pretty much by the time we make new confirmations of Bitcoin closing below certain key levels. But I did talk about this today. People like Arthur Hayes going into stable coins. The fact that we are at the 4th year of the cycle, and this is really happening, it means a massive reset is taking place. Anything less than that, I will not be truthfully reporting to you if I just gave you the hopium side. We need to look at both the good and the bad. Right now, the market is rather sticky, and things remain complicated. It is a great opportunity if you are a long-term investor. And of course, as we go back up, just to make sure, if you want to do a portfolio readjustment, I think it will be a perfect time, because I do believe we will top in 2026, at some point in 2026. And one of the reasons why is because of this chart. If we look at the housing market and a potential correction there, the chart always comes good, right? So if we're in a bigger macro cycle, if the Fed is obviously easing liquidity right now, then we really need to see this play in charts. What is this going to give us? Your long-term convictions are not going to change, right? Your long-term convictions are not going to change, because if you look at this, we are pretty much towards a blow-off top of some sort in 2026. Now, 2026 itself is looking ever more bullish, but what a lot of people in this space are telling us right now is yes, everything is good, and hoo-ha, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And the situation is completely the opposite. Right now, until we see a confirmation of a massive change, Bitcoin is at $92,000. I did make a video. Someone's asking me if I'm in cash all now. Partially, but not all, because I haven't really sold any significant positions. Having said that, I did mark the July and August top, and I did make a video back then saying, great time to sell now. But my anticipation was we go into a pullback throughout the late August, early September to mid-September until the Fed pivot. Now we got majority of that right, but then October came and we saw what happened: mass liquidations and big wallets moving into stable coins. So October and November, obviously, the picture is completely changed on what we considered as a typical 4-year market. We kind of knew that crypto is kind of messed up, not the same since the old days. Having said that, I have made some bold predictions, and I gave some pretty decent, accurate kind of perspective on why I believe the bull market will continue in 2026. Now, some of my latest internal posts include a few of them. I'm going to share them with you. I take it we're the whole family is here. So this was one of them, right? So what I'm saying here is, if we zoom out, Bitcoin just closed its first weekly candle below 50 since September 23. So we are looking at a sizable data here, right? The weekly structure has officially ended, and you can see where we are with this candle. Having said that, it's the first time, right, for a few years where this has happened. So for the first time in over a year, BTC has slipped below 50 moving average, signaling potential shift in momentum, early warning signs for traders and investors. However, reacting it to this news or to this chart too early might be just a little bit premature. Let's see how the week plays out. Now, this is a big week because we have a few different events taking place this week. And one of them, Thursday, is going to be incredibly volatile. And of course, we're going to have to be very, very much in the calculus here of what's going to happen. So Wednesday, McDonald's trying crypto burns. Oh man, good to see you, Alexis. Hope you're well. USDT dominance. We'll take a look at these, but this picture here is rather concerning. Now, consensus is we are at these lows, therefore we will reverse, but without liquidity shift, without the Fed coming out in the minutes indicating what they're going to do in just under 23 days time, it's going to be difficult to actually go and say, okay, I'm completely bullish. The great thing is, some of the assets that we talk about, especially the long-term convictions, are less likely to suffer overall. One of those assets is Bitensa Tau. So if you look at all of the indicators, it's actually holding up way above $300. Now, that's got to do with the halving and a few other bullish factors, but there are some cryptocurrencies that have hardly shifted, like they've hardly moved in the wrong direction. Then you've got obviously others, like for example here, Casper, sitting at 4 cents. The news obviously that we were talking about in our last discussion was Casper obviously refused a Binance listing. Great. I mean, $41 million is absolutely ridiculous. But what you see is Tether and other stable coins up, and no surprise at all. When you go through, for example, when you go through these wallets like Arthur Hayes here, and you do if I just refresh this wallet, what you're likely to see is the sell pressure continuing, right? So, these are always good indicators. Again, we're using Nansen, 13 hours, 12 hours, 7 hours ago, 19 hours, 2 days ago. So these are all accumulations of USDC. You can see here what they've sold in this particular case. And again, it's not just Arthur Hayes, it's many of the whales, many of the KOLs. You could see how much they got here in USDC, right? So here's got 500K here. Let me just actually just mark these out for you. So when we say into stables, like, it's no joke, these guys are selling sizable amounts every few hours for the past few days. And it really just began because many of them are using the 50-day moving average or 50-week moving average as an indicator. Now, while the charts are very accurate in terms of looking at where the market is, there's also the sentiment and there's the macro, right? So we've got to bring all of that together and feel some type of way about what we want to do. I don't think you're going to have a problem if you are buying or holding good long-term projects. I think the real problem for us is how do we deal, the question that everyone is running away from, and I'm not scared to actually tackle this question, and I've kind of insinuated this on the Discord. We are seeing, so for the bears, yes, they are in control of the market, and liquidity does indicate that they are right. The technical analysis, fundamental, that aligns with the bears. The overarching thing that most people miss is this is the first year that we're seeing a change, or this is the first time we're seeing a change to the traditional 4-year cycle. So that's number one. Number two, this is the first time we're seeing liquidity cycle shift, right? Liquidity cycle shift. And we're seeing the 4th year of Bitcoin. So a lot of these assets here, if we look at some of these reds, I haven't seen red arrows or red charts like this since 2022, like persistently. Ethereum's doing very well, and 6 months is up by 20%. But overall, if you look at these assets, we've had a BNB season, we've had a push for a few others here and there. Privacy's been doing really, really well. But we have not seen, we've not seen an alt season. And because we haven't seen an alt season collectively across the board, we can't just do the same thing. That's the definition of insanity, is doing the same thing and expecting, different results. And in my opinion, I haven't seen anything to suggest 2025 will be a top year for altcoins. Nothing at all. Now, luckily, we are very lucky that we've got tools in our community that will help us in terms of both accumulation and in terms of dumping, when people are dumping coins. Now, when we started this exercise on Nansen, okay, and I used the Arthur Hayes wallet as one of many, hundreds of wallets that I see, whale and smart wallets that I see every single day. But have a look at this. So when we started tracking the Arthur Hayes wallet, his balance was around $2 million, $2 to $4 million. Right now, Arthur Hayes' USDC balance is at a value of $10 million. And you can see it here, right? You can see Arthur Hayes wallet, USDC balance is 10 million. The reason for that is, as far back as about 7 hours ago, he sold another $800,000, $500,000 to $800,000 into USDC. So he's aggressively going into stable coins. The definition of choppy this week, facts. Facts there, Steve. So what we're seeing, look, at the end of the day, it's not a bad idea to actually look at the portfolios and start to look at, okay, yeah, I'm down on this. What's happening here? Can I hold this for a long time? Because if we do bounce a little bit and there's a trap in the market because of the macro situation, then you are able to do some really, really good position flipping, right? You don't have to all the way break up even, because if we ultimately move down again, and I am expecting 90K, 88 to 90K, hopefully to be the bottom, right? But what we saw here is we just have to look at the historical data for the fear and greed index here. So back in after election, we had sell the news, Trump inauguration, market became shit, and then we spent a fear and greed index of 20 or below for several months, 24. And here really like March was like peak fear. 15 was the lowest, right? And look every time the market actually does have a period like this, I can see here 22, fear and greed index coming all the way down to like 15, 17, actually 16 today. But we haven't really seen a 3-month period of fear just yet. Could we replicate that? Potentially. And that's what I'm telling people right now is this period here ended up with Bitcoin coming back, and we're doing, we ended up breaking all-time highs. We did a double top as well, 124, then 126. So from Bitcoin's diminishing returns perspective, we haven't actually seen market structure that we've known for the past cycles, both 2017 and 2021. So if you're going to expect the pain, I would probably say this is a more accurate way of reading that pain. And of course, we had peak greed here. And of course, we came all the way back down. And now we are actually in these type of territories where fear and greed index stays below 20. Extreme fear for several more, at least another week. I'm expecting this to play out, and massive with whatever the Fed minutes say. Fed chairman came out today, and if we can get some of that up here, the Fed came out today anyway, and there is going to be a massive anticipation of what side we go, because the interest rates are going to be maintained if we go by the odds. So the market is pricing that in. All right. So take money out of Wall Street. The debate, there's a massive debate going on right now. People are de-risking. It's earnings season as well. We've got NVIDIA. But for the bullish side, I do believe whenever the signals come, we should be able to spot whether people like Arthur Hayes and these other big whales are buying crypto in the millions instead of selling in the millions, as we've seen in the last 72 hours in the DXB community Discord. All right. So definitely, I just wanted to let you know, yes, of course, the picture is one of hopium and all of that. But the reality is, guys, we are right now at $91,000 and some change. So we have kind of come down from $92,000. So yeah, this is going to be very, very interesting week as we go into the as we also go into the NFP report. Thursday is going to be insane. That's going to be the most volatile day that we're going to see for a while. Yeah, Alexis, can't sell because most of us are down. Can't buy because no money. Yeah, this is when you just sit back and chill. You sit back and chill, and of course, again, those of you who have stable coins right now will love the market. But to be honest, watch Netflix, play football, go see some friends. This is the time when really all you need to do is one thing or the other. You're either DCAing into convictions as we come down. If we actually fall off and go even lower, then the chances are it won't be till next year till the picture clears, right? And yes, we do need to touch grass and some ass, smoke some grass, whatever you like to do. But right now, it is absolutely the time to actually look at the year ahead of us. You know, the higher what I find interesting with the Fed is the fact that the Fed is basically now throwing the labor market out of the window and focusing on inflation. We are down, and the way we are, because inflation is a real pain in the neck. Okay, what do I think of Toshi? I think Toshi is a fantastic watch. And last time we checked, it was around $180 odd million in terms of the market cap. But I would say it would be on top accumulation, because it's going to be the main. Toshi is going to be the main way people come into base, regardless. It is actually the base mascot. So that's going to be a key thing to watch. But we will kind of look at the Toshi chart. Let me just see if I can. Let's see if I can actually go bring some charts up. The thing with Toshi, and some of the other, it could be a blessing. Look, at the end of the day, Toshi has been a massive, massive conviction for me. And it's one of the few cryptocurrencies that I've been up on it significantly. The community have been convicted on it from day one. I think a lot of us who hold Toshi actually realized that, especially when we came all the way down to these look at charts, by the way, flip charts if you can to market caps, because it's going to help you DCA better. So we bought tons of Toshi around 40 million, below 30 million. And that's been the case. But right now, Toshi is, if you look at this, it went from 52 million, went all the way to 600 million, got listed on Binance and Coinbase, came all the way crashing down. Now, think about it. It makes sense for, there's also a base token coming, right? There's also the launch of Monad through Coinbase as well. That's something we can talk about. But if you look at the market cap right now, 160 million for Toshi. So I think Toshi at some point, with all the money sloshing around the system, it should go beyond multiple billions of dollars. But just pray that it dips below it dips below 100 million. So that would be a maximum buying opportunity, in my opinion. Right? Everybody needs a good meme coin. Everybody needs a chain mascot. And Toshi is your bad boy here. This is the bear party in the chat. Do we say beer party or beer party? I'll call it the bear party, in my opinion. But this is an excellent one. Every single one of us should put this on their watch list right now. And the fact that this ran up to 600 million, it already technically had a massive, massive run. And I would be looking to add some more if we do reverse. In fact, it's going to be, as far as memes are concerned, it will probably be a conviction meme like Pepe. Toshi will be, for sure. Something you can actually hold for a DCA, not hold, you can buy tons of. Lofi is another one. Look, the more Lofi comes down, right? Hopefully it comes around to about, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000 per million Toshi. We will be printing some Toshi millionaires in the long term Lofi millionaires. Toshi will also make plenty of millionaires as well. Zcash has been pumping. Now, in my opinion, get the shorts ready for that, right? This is these are the indicators right now, right? Strong sell, basically oscillators, moving averages, on the daily, everything is absolutely cooked for Bitcoin right now, right? But I would say there will be some spectacular shorts along the way if we do eventually move to this to a bear market situation for an extended time. I think it would be more like what we had in April, in my opinion, and it's going to be the idea that everyone's going to just get tired and leave crypto. That's it. You know, I know so many people right now who've just said, "Look, F it, you know, this is not for me," and this is the reason why. This is the reason why we have broken out of. You know, this is looking cooked for now. Now, in terms of, let me have a look. Some of these indicators. Let's go. So the next level, right? We did say the next level for Bitcoin would be around 90 to about 88,000 level. And we're there. We're almost there, guys. You know, we are almost there. You know, we come down to this level and hopefully reverse from there. Now, a lot of people are looking at the death cross. The death cross for me is a completely you know, it needs more analysis because more often than not, it does actually sometimes signal the bottom. But Zcash, Zcash, and of course, privacy has been doing very, very well. ZEC has been absolutely killing it, right? This is the, you know, at the end of the day, this is one of the most bullish charts. But look at this on the weekly, on the 2-day, and even on the daily. I think this will be a very much very spectacular pullback here. So there might be money to be made in the short term for Zcash for sure. This is a very good. Anyone who's taking a short here is in profit so far, as it falls back. Yeah, like Peter said, you know, guys, just wait. We are not in danger. Well, I hope so. I hope so, because ultimately the crazy thing here for me is we look at the price structure for Bitcoin and what's going on right now, and it's going to be super interesting, to say the least, to see what happens from here. You know, further room to the downside. You know, we come up to these levels. Where are we now? 91K. Now, another thing that we obviously need to talk about is getting above the current 50-week, and that becoming that becoming the kind of a dead cat bounce at a potential spot for price to reverse, and then we dump back again. Nobody knows. But all I can tell you right now, I am getting as much as I can in terms of stable coins. And the issue that I have is a lot of my limit orders to the downside, with the exception of Bitensa Tau, have already been hit. You know, so yeah, it's going to be super interesting. But I'm telling you now, this is when we become absolutely and definitively wealth making a group. You know, Alexis said, what was that, Alexis? This is the Boober crash AI. Yep, absolutely, Peter. Can you check the first comment on the stream? Let's have a look. This one here. Market dumps regardless. Is that the one? How low do we go from here? I think, look, 90 to 88K, 80,000, mid 80s. I mean, there is an order block. That's why I'm saying short term, 92 to about 80K, but we're almost there, guys, you know. And unless the picture changes dramatically, we could go slightly lower than that. Alexis said, bull market top 2017, December 2021, November 2025, and October. Do you see the pattern? Yeah, potentially. Look, here's what I'm going to tell you about this current market cycle. This is a different market altogether. We're supposed to have the ISO narrative. This is the institutional adoption. This is the mass adoption for crypto. You're seeing, even in my Phantom wallet now, I could see the Solana credit card, right? So in order to answer that question, I can only look at liquidity. Regardless of which year we have, it's become even more important right now to see the Fed pivot, and people are selling purely because they're not sure. There is uncertainty of whether we're going to get additional rate cuts that the market priced in last month by 96%, right? This is, again, you know, crypto family just looks at the, you know, what's going on inside our, you know, innovation and adoption and all of these things. But without liquidity, right, it's very difficult to balance for them anyway. For the Fed, saying now all of a sudden we have an issue with inflation. There was a projection by the Cleveland Fed, because all of a sudden now everyone's actually forgotten about the current situation with the labor market and inflation. Now labor is bad. They're not even releasing the data, which is absolutely interesting. But if you look at the Cleveland Fed, I think that's the one I posted today. Inflation forecast. Let me see if I can get my... Yeah, so inflation now all of a sudden has moved to the top of the Fed's priority list more than the labor market, so to speak. So this is what we're expecting. December's rate cut decision will largely be influenced not by the labor market, but by the situation with inflation. So very, very good question. And of course, 2017, 2021, 2025, 2029. I think this space has changed for us to be predicting where the next top is going to be for this cycle. I do take your point, absolutely valid, but I can't see us going into a 4-year bear market. You also have to look at the year post-halving. When it coincides with a US election, it's always bullish. Now, what's delayed the ultimate kind of, we could have been wrapping up right now as we move into Christmas. We could have been cashing out. The Trump tariffs had basically obliterated, like set us back to the Stone Age. So there is no risk appetite. Gold's been running. What that tells me now is we're seeing the last phase of that capitulation happening right now. And maybe we're in denial, but I'm certainly not in denial about what's going to happen next year. Because if we look at the overall picture, next year, 2027 for me is going to be the brutal one. A deep recession in the housing market, 2027, potential US election in 2028. You've got potentially, a change of administration over there. Will it be as pro-crypto? Many, many questions to actually go through, or many, many permutations, but very valid point, of course. And I can see where you're coming from. And so far, it looks like this particular cycle will end with a correction rather than end of a cycle where we reset the liquidity, they print more money, and then we go again next year, and then we kind of coincide with this 18-year real estate cycle or the macro business liquidity cycle. And then we move into a bear market in 2027 that is going to be a brutal one. So nobody has a crystal ball. You know, I did have a mini crystal ball back in July and August, and I made a video, several videos saying, look, taking profit now, selling now will be great. And then I was thinking buy the dip back in September, which I did, just like everyone else. And then, of course, October never came. And November, we find ourselves in the low 90s. So anything could happen, for sure. Big up Pratik as well. I think you had a question. Yeah, I think pretty much answered that one. My sister there. Give me a spoon of hopium. Well, the spoon of hopium will be that many of the assets we know and love and research will do well. Layer ones will do very well. You know, top AI projects like Bitenso Tau, they become a 5-year, 10-year conviction. They will do very well. RWA coins, everything is going to be on chain. They will do well. If you play the game right, meme coins, especially chain leaders like your Toshis, your Lofis, any meme coin that's associated with a community will do well. So it is a great time. Any new capital that's coming into the market that you're holding, hold on to it. Anything that you put into the market, you should be buying projects with good utility. Because if, for example, I hold a bag of Tau, and it's weird. The night I used to add, I remember buying one time, you know, I used to buy them in 50s, right? 50 Tau here and there, 10 Tau, whatever. But I remember one time like spending a bit of money to get a decent bag of Tau, and then taking the other half and buying other altcoins, right? And so let's say, for example, 25,000 into Tau, 25,000 into, say, 5 other or 10 other altcoins, and then checking the two portfolios, see what's happened over the last, it's only the last 3 months really, as a benchmark, right? One is actually in profit in Tau, and the other one is down by at least 35% on, you know, across the board. And this is not my own, like my entire portfolio. It's almost like, with the exception of early entries into the likes of Casper, Tau's in profit because I've bought Tau at slightly lower prices than where they are now. But everything else has held up significantly well. Everything else has tanked. Toshi is another one that's holding up. My average on Say goes up and down. The average is about 14 cents. And because of the fact that I bought a lot of Say when it went down to like 12 back in April, around 12 cents. But overall, guys, it's a picture of, it's a sea of red, you know. So the hopium is we obviously look at the we look at the portfolio and we focus on that. Yeah, this is very interesting. 69 to 72K region. So the way I look at this, Alexis, is that normally I look at order blocks. So I'm not really looking at that far now, unless we obviously have, there's 2 sets of data coming in this week. Like I said, the Fed minutes and the other set of data coming in is the NFP on Thursday. Thursday is going to be wild. I think the market could rally if the if the NFP comes in, you know, slightly off. So yeah, absolutely, brother. Thank you. Big facts. We talked about that. We talked about Toshi. Yeah, let's go. Let's go, guys. Seabass reposted this stream. Zizou, what's going on, brother? Hope you're well. If BTC is going down to 16, okay, that's when I'll go. Oh man, that can you imagine that? Yeah, there's some big facts here. This is the boomer crash. AI forced people to retire early. People are taking from investments to survive in the 100%, bro. That is a fact. We have a long way to go in this cycle. I'll post my theory on why in the Discord later. I agree with you, bro. Look, the cycle's just been stretched. Think about it. You know, they've been preparing for Swift to enter blockchain and all of these things. ISO 2022 should coincide with the height of the bull market. You know, but what I'm seeing is a lot of ETFs for altcoins are definitely in the works right now. So again, if the Fed holds the rates, which is the title of the live stream, and if we don't so far, I mean, the odds are that they are likely not to change the rates at all. So if this happens, I can see prices going down. We stay down for a bit, and then next year, everything is reset. Liquidity is in the market. Risk appetite is back, and then we go absolutely crazy. But this is right now not favoring the risk markets at the moment in terms of the forecast. What is going on, Mehra? How are you, brother? Yeah, Powell's going to leave us in 2026. I think Q2 2026 is his tenure. And then hopefully we get Fed Waller as a replacement because he's incredibly dovish. Yeah, still holding the majority, but I'm concentrated on mostly on quality now in terms of the dollar balance. And yeah, don't forget to like, guys. Extremely extended cycle. I think what you're talking about there is definitely a factor, because if you align with the crypto friendly Trump administration, right? If you align this with the crypto friendly administration in the US, what you're likely to see is that the cycle will be extended, and we will maybe run up to 2027. Potentially, I mean, 2028 will be a volatile year because of US elections, right? So yeah, 100%. I think we will see the extension of the cycle. Tau 50. Listen, I honestly believe with the current stock market pricing on tech stocks, like Nvidia, again, Wednesday, we should see some Nvidia earnings report. We're still in the US earnings season, but it could well be that Tau over the next 5 years. That's why I'm telling everyone, look, we're just so lucky in a way to be this early to the select few. So, you know, again, that's a long way away. I mean, Pratik says, look, yeah, don't being delusional, I guess. I think the fundamentals, right? So what you have to value in Tau is the subnets. You know, the subnets will determine where Tau goes, and the more demand for Tau, the higher the growth, and then of course halving emissions. you're going to see, look, this ecosystem right now in the last 7 days, some subnets are absolutely killing it. There's stuff here that there's sports betting and stuff. There's oracles on here. There's AI projects on here. This is absolutely ridiculous, right? So despite the fact that the market is quite dead at the moment, there's also Tau being earned consistently and Tau subnets growing all the time. So I wouldn't rule what Mehran is saying is not delusional. I think it's a bet on the long-term future of decentralized AI. And when you take NVIDIA's valuation, for example, when you have more stock players coming into crypto, which they are already doing, let me see if Ondo's so the trading through Ondo, some people are now trading stocks 24/7 through the Ondo markets with USDY. So crypto is changing, guys, and it's changing for the better. That's why I personally believe that deep in an AI, an RWA will produce the next $1 trillion asset category in crypto. So yeah, it is look, if you think about all of these companies coming on chain, and again, I couldn't tell you how many people are trading on this right now. This is it'd be great to actually understand what the share of people trading on global standard tokenized fixed assets and income. This will be, it's insane. NVIDIA being traded on there, Amazon, Apple, and that's why RWA will have a market. We also have had the big report, the state of crypto. And I think this is obviously something that you've got to read at some point, because this is a really, really strong, well-balanced, more institutional, I would say, crypto report by AI16Z. And what it does is it just goes through some really, really good key takeaways. For example, as we see Bitcoin grow here, what we're seeing is milestones, right? Within crypto. What we're seeing here is the likes of different times where the market was ultimately, here we've got ICO bottom, back here. And then we've obviously got DeFi summer, NFT surge, Bitcoin ETF, meme coin mania, mainly 23, 24. And where we are now is this bit here, regulation and regulatory shift, right? That's where we are right now. So the fact that we are having a dip here, when we clearly see the growth of crypto in general, and I think this is obviously when stable coins and layer ones and all fundamental cryptocurrencies with better regulations will start going ultimately to the upside in a major way. Let me just place this here. And in terms of this, I mean, we did talk about this, people don't really care about certain metrics for sure, because what we see is yesterday's millionaires were cultivated over 2 cycles. Facts. If you became a one cycle millionaire, the chances are you were just quite lucky. It normally takes a stretch or a run to be a crypto millionaire. Doing the right things, buying the right projects, accumulating in the right time. But this is when ultimately the fear is going to drive many out. Many people are going to give up on their portfolio. And the fact that we are having this level of clarity in crypto for the first time ever, I just think it's a matter of time. So short term, I'm not concerned whether we go to 90K or 88K. There is a different feeling if we start hitting 60, 70K. I mean, then that, you know, most of these altcoins will quite frankly shit the bed. And let's have a look. Let me just read some of these comments. So yeah, sorry if I'm missing your comments, by the way. You know, this is a real problem here. AI force people to sell investments. Yeah, we talked about that. What else am I seeing? Thoughts on Schmidt? I don't have any. Bitcoin hitting those prices. Sorry, Tau isn't delusional at all. Yeah, this is true. It's technically more valuable than Bitcoin. Well, if we go and we value data, right? So data is going to become the new gold. And to be honest with you, I mean, the arms race that's happening now, and Peter's spot on right there, is countries are valuing their kind of future growth into the amount of electricity that they can produce in order to actually produce computational power for AI, right? We know several reports out saying that, you know, this country or that country is behind by 40%. The recent one that I shared was the United States projected power output by 2028, which is lagging behind, say, places like China. This is a data-driven national policy because you need the data for data centers and AI. One more concern is Bitcoin miner capitulation. So there's a concern that Bitcoin miners are now moving to AI. So again, you know, you've got to be open-minded here. Absolutely. But this is another fact that you need to remember. Bitcoin miners sit on prime power assets, AI pivot accelerates, and this is a worry for Bitcoin. It still drives nearly all sectors' revenue as narrative shifts towards AI, right? Falling capital, you know, in terms of profitability, and this pivot makes sense for miners, right? So when you think about Bitenso and, you know, crypto like this, it's only a matter of time for me that this kind of asset will be, you know, for, you know, one day 5 figures, you know, dare I say. The Bitcoin mining fundamental remains strong, ranging from $30,000 to $40,000 per coin. I mean, this is after you take out the cost of electricity, and efficiency gains have improved. But don't be surprised if you see more Bitcoin, you know, miners moving over to do data centers for AI. And don't be surprised, again, as assets come down in value, you need to have a bear market hit list, guys. If you're in our Discord, you already know. So 100%, I think this is a very, very exciting time to be part of this space, albeit we are feeling the pinch of what's going on now. Is Dubai a good place for living, investing in apartments for rental income? Yes, it is. Dubai is a city that never sleeps. It is a world city. And although, to be honest, traffic is a lot more heavier, but certainly Dubai, there's the Al Marjan Resort in Ras Al Khaimah, which is where the casino's built. And one of my good Dutch friends just bought 4 apartments in one of the towers because the casino is going to be down there and it's going to be highly, highly, sought after. In terms of family, it's safe. Dubai, I have an office in Dubai. My main residency is in Abu Dhabi. I think Abu Dhabi is highly, highly underrated. For me, if I had to choose between one of the two, and I had a family, if you're single, Dubai is the best. If one person, move into an apartment, share with people, if you have to save money, it doesn't matter. Dubai is the best place to live if you're about that life. If you've got a family, Abu Dhabi is world class. Abu Dhabi is actually for me, one of the best cities in the world. Lack of traffic jams, great space, fantastic infrastructure. It's a lot more quiet. It's a lot more quiet than I would say Dubai, but it's only like an hour and a half away, right? So it's not it's not a million miles away, but I would definitely consider. And in terms of investment, there is obviously you've got to be mindful about the potential for this kind of thing to play out. But I think it's it depends on what you're looking for, really. If you're looking for a long-term property portfolio, I think they're also going to build a casino in Dubai as well. So yeah, that could be a good place for you to park some money. The UAE is world-class in terms of banks, in terms of connectivity to the rest of the world. I mean, you've got 4.5 hour flight distance to 3 continents, right? You've got Europe here, you've got Africa there, and you've got Asia there. So yeah, pretty good. People buy and sell information all the time. They even hack it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, honestly, even if it's like $10,000 a coin, it's still crazy. Yep, got you, bro. Yeah, this motherfucker needs to get the fuck out of here. Let me get rid of this cunt. Providing people information is not digging deeper hole for people. People are buying and investing as they wish. And yeah, go F yourself, man. Let me get this. So anyway, let me tell you the story of this dickhead that was just on the screen. So he bought some Marvia and Alephium in 2023, 2024. I don't even know when. And then the other day he sends me a wallet on X saying, "Oh, can you send me some money?" Get lost, man, you pussy. This cycle is so manipulated that the less people, yeah, absolutely. Facts, big facts, bro. I think the other thing as well is about this cycle is the fact that you need to you need to buy quality, right? You need to have something that could be in the market for a lot longer, in my opinion. It is a slow run up. Bro said a decent back of swapped it for XMWY because it's the trifecta AI infrastructure database. And it has been accumulating heavy. 14 million market cap, it's almost free. Oh, really? The other day was 20 million. So yeah, it's crazy, man. Just load your bags. Only weak clouds calling for a bear market. And buffoons that will FOMO. Absolutely, bro. Crypto people always look for new shiny things, and people tend to forget about the high will go away of the cycle. I agree with you. That's a tremendous point. Like, for example, if you DCA into something like this, again, I'm not saying this is going to make you millions right away, but time after time, there are those cryptocurrencies that will outlast the rubbish because they offer real world utility. 28, 29, maybe some dip now, but great run before September 20. Possible. I mean, like I said, I think it'll be hard to ignore 2027. That is where I'm concerned with a massive crash, both in real estate, maybe stocks as well, and the whole house comes crashing down before we recover and move on to the next phase. There's also that 2028 US election, so anything can happen before that. I think running up to that, anything is possible. Hope they don't lock crypto up by then. Sick of the EU is absolutely ridiculous. Oh man, we've got Prosky in here. Madman, what's going on, brother? Checks say it may be forming a double bottom. Yeah, we'll have a look at say. Thoughts on AI tech as well. I mean, look, say it's one of the ones I track anyway, and triple bottom, double bottom, bottom. It has, yeah, look where it's at. Yeah. I mean, listen, we could see 12 cents from here. But these are all great charts to look at right now, to be honest. Because look how far low. And yeah, Tau can also be mine. Thoughts on AI tech popping on our portfolio. Yeah, AI tech. I mean, you guys know I've had AI tech for a while, and I'm kind of putting it nowadays in the agent, kind of the agent section into, let's just remove all of these. So look, AI tech right now is just the same as all of the other smaller cryptocurrencies, right? Like, unless there's any particular news here, the chart is, yeah, the chart is off the Richter scale. So, I mean, these levels here, these prices have not seen, but I do expect a vertical takeoff if and when liquidity returns to the market. That this move, I think, was like almost 20x from these lows. What did it do to the top? I think it was like it pulled in a 30x move or something. Yeah, crazy. So look, at the moment, it's you're looking at AI tech within the context of, for example, say things like Neo Protocol here, and pretty much you can see a lot of these charts are in their bear market lows. This has been one of the best trades that I take occasionally, Neo Protocol, right? So if you look at this, It looks like the Say chart. It looks like the, I don't know, AI tech chart, with the exception of these bounces, because AI tech has been in a massive downtrend. Yeah, once we get to 10 million, 10.5 million circulation, it will definitely take off. Sorry, that for the halving side. Guys, don't forget to smash the like here. Of course, we are almost at what is it? How many likes do we have in this video? Guys, help me out, please. If you haven't liked the video, like the video. CBDCs in the EU. The EU, the UK, some of the worst jurisdictions for any form of human progression, in my opinion. I think they are terrible. And of course, the EU is taxing the UK is also taxing the or crypto, limiting the amount you can use for crypto. Yeah, now the EU, honestly, you know, like sometimes I travel through like the UK or Europe. I'm actually scared to take my wallets. I'm afraid to transact in stable coins. It's such a weird, it's a weird jurisdiction. The US got rid of Gary Gensler, but everyone else is basically moving forward with crypto. Dubai's crypto policies now are so advanced. I think most of the European countries will struggle to turn up anytime soon. Smash the like, guys. Smash the like. Any other cryptos we need to look at before I lock off? I mean, everything is practically back to where it was or is in the bear market bottoms. This is Pepe. Pepe now, shit. Pepe is just like literally broken a key level here. And I think the next level for Pepe is 2727. You know, if you look at any coin, look, AVAX went all the way to $30. AVAX is now back to $14. Chainlink, which is always a good measure to look at. Chainlink now entering its kind of like April lows, which were here. April lows, the lowest wick we had in April was around $9, $10, something like that. And literally now we are at a $13 level. So you can't really, you can't really feel sorry for yourself in these markets. You know, big money. Like when I shared this with you, this guy is down. This Arthur Hayes guy is down by $2 million. Of course, that's not the measurement for our wallets. But some of these whales are not the greatest traders at all. Realize P&L here is minus $2 million. And of course, you know, you got hundreds of millions of dollars, or you are a billionaire. You don't really care. But that really, this wallet just kind of puts it into perspective. Once you scale it up, it's mad. Let's see if he's added. Yeah, he has sold some more. It's now 10.93 million. So yeah, in terms of these charts, guys, there's really no fear at all for me looking at where these altcoins are. So this is Aptos. Ethereum's actually been performing slightly better across the market, right? ETH has been holding this $3,000 level. Sui is absolutely cooked. 160. Look at this. 160 for SUI right now. So if you're buying ecosystem SUI plays, then this is the time. You know, this is the time. SUI has actually broken below that. Where could we go next? I think the next target here, if the market continues to go down for SUI, is around this $1.40 to $1.50 area. So just think about, you're looking at kind of, I don't know, the Walrus or, Lofi or whatever you're looking at in terms of SUI. The prices have absolutely come down in it like spectacularly, I would say. So just remember, buying any of these charts right now or dollar cost averaging into the next kind of few months, the chances are you're not going to lose out long term. Appreciate you, Alexis. Thank you, brother. Tao has moved better than BTC since. Yeah, it's unbelievable, right? It almost reminds me of like that first year of Casper. Now, I haven't seen Jesse Eccles' videos recently, bro. He sold his house to buy crypto. Good man. Absolutely insane. Zibek. The thing with Zibek is that I saw some nice outflows the other day. Well, I think yesterday I kind of alerted everyone about the short-term environment for Zibek. Now, what I can see here is a chart that has so we will definitely form kind of some kind of a recovery here, but I can see the prices coming back down to 00238 just over here. Only because I follow some whale movements, and I think it could well be a case that I can see a little bit more of a pullback, but otherwise great fundamentals. If you look at this on the weekly as well, the RSI on the weekly has pretty much flattened. On the daily, volume is absolutely low in the market, guys. So you've got to also consider volume. So I can see us falling to this level. It would be good place to pick up some more. Of course, dollar cost average as always, get some confirmations, but I can see this coming back to this level. And oh, Pete, that's a quality one. That is an absolute quality one. And let's have a look. Boom, boom. Let me see where else we got. Bro said, thoughts on Lit protocol, good backing, good exchanges. It's on 7 chains. It's also coming to Sol and Sui next year. Thank you. No, thank you for the question. So it's on Arbitrum, right? So the TVL of Arbitrum is massive. And Arbitrum projects tend to normally, I mean, I haven't seen crazy things that's happened over there in Arbitrum recently, but they are cash rich, right? So any projects on the ecosystem will likely to get good support if they are pivotal. So first, let's give them a follow, see what they're talking about. So this is a decentralized key network powering autonomy and privacy across web, DeFi, and AI. powered by LitKey. So this is a privacy / decentralized keys and see. So wallet protection, privacy. So look, my honest assessment is specifically projects that are related to wallets haven't done well. But this is a new technology, right? So as we're seeing with quantum, as we're seeing with hacks and all kinds of things happening in terms of wallet protection, there could be a space for a cross-chain project that has security at the kind of, the center of its architecture, right? Total value managed, so 400 million decentralized wallets created. So what is it? A third-party wallet, universal accounts for users, control automation, unlock true autonomy without sacrificing user control. Define exactly what agents can do. So it's also an AI. It's got AI agents built into it, and create agent wallets. Interesting. You see, that wasn't so clear. Messaging is so important for projects. So it's cross-chain, breaks down blockchain silos with programmable private keys. I would love to actually trial this. See what's going on. Who is it backed by? Backers. So LinkedIn, blah, Discord. Okay. Mika white paper. So it is a European-based project. European-based project. I'm talking about Mika, that scares me straight away. Integrated with all of these. If you can create a wallet, user and agent wallets, what is required? Because a lot of these projects don't actually work, if I'm being honest. And, this is going to be technical. Will retail respond to this? Look, at the end of the day, it is an $8 million project with a $14 million volume, right? I pay attention to volume quite a lot of the times. I know people say, volume versus market cap, fully diluted, so they still have some circulation of tokens to come. 24-hour trading volume is absolutely immense. Now they've got 220 million circulating out of 1 billion tokens, and that should give us perhaps an opportunity to see what their inflation is like. But the chart has remained pretty consistent market cap wise, and this is going back, launched I think 30th of October, so it has actually maintained some kind of stability in both price and market cap. Lit protocol, lit key, good ticker on Bybit, and it's on multi-chain, so you'll be on Aerodrome Base and a few others. So far, I would have to say, obviously, something to watch. Maybe it's way more technical than people understand. See if you can actually create a physical wallet, because sometimes you have to test the utility. And yeah, it looks good. It looks good for $8 million valuation with a massive $14 million volume. Bullish on ETH, absolutely, bro. ETH has not budged as much as people have expected to go down by. Now, typically, that is a reflection of Bitcoin dominance. So ETH is becoming slightly stronger, a good indication for altcoins. What the F is wrong with Hippo and Sui? Pumps and dumps and still survive somehow. Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, I'm a loafy guy. Sudeng, as you would expect. I mean, look, the market cap has been resilient until recently, right? So if we change this from price to market cap, you will see here from 50 million, $60 million earlier, 79, and then boom, back to $11 million. That CME gap just filled great stuff there. We can now see what that reaction is going to be. Hopefully, we start ripping up from here, bro. Just on Arbitrum, it's on ETH base, several chains. Yeah, it looks crazy volume. Like, you know, that's insane. It's a Binance Alpha project at $8 million. Bybit listing too. Yeah, that is why I'm going to stick it into my watch list for sure. Good stuff, bro. What do you think about Beam? Still a good project? Yes. So look, I know people aren't bullish on gaming, and naturally so, right? Now, Beam, because what happens is when the market really comes back, what you want is the market to give you a reaction at these levels. So $5,000 for a million Beam coins. I reckon when you see something like this for the duration of its life, Beam has absolutely done nothing. So by all intents and purposes, major volume at the start, volume starting to creep back up. People are buying Beam. Why? Because it's a layer one. And at the end of the day, when gaming season comes back, the bigger assets that drop in the most in terms of the market cap, I think this chart is pretty flat here. Look, we've done the April lows again. This bottomed out again in 2023. Then we've had all of this time, including April's lows. But right now, it went as low as, I think back in May, it was like $2,000 for million coins. It has actually bounced here on the weekly. So I do like Beam a lot. I think in terms of Merit Circle, the cash reserves they have, it's a long-term play. I mean, dare I say, could we get a crazy, crazy gaming season next year? I think we could. I genuinely think we could get a crazy, crazy gaming season. Definitely not dead. They say Japan is buying ETH because Japanese movie the energy. Really? Oh man, I didn't know that. Alexis said, check Turtle. Sure, Broski, let's have a look at Turtle. Turtle. On which chain? I'd assume there's few. Actually, no, there's one. Turtle. This is a $13 million market cap, fully diluted, 86 million, 8 million in terms of trading volume. Let's see what Turtle does. Markets on Binance Gate, 3 million on Binance volume. Binance Alpha launch. So look, the chart looks funny in terms of market cap, in terms of price, pretty much steady across. Does have decent volume because it's on Binance among other exchanges, but very low float, slightly high FDV, and liquidity distribution protocol. Did the institutional liquidity, deal flow, diligence. So deal flow has been smacked out of the window because of, to be honest, I mean, no deal flows have been taking place because of manipulation mostly. Promote your incentive program. So this competes with the likes of Galaxy, I assume. Turn your Web3 audience into a revenue stream. I think projects like this will, of course, depend on who's backing this and how Binance push this. But I just feel like it's, for me, I think it's going to be a bit problematic in terms of like the type of niche. It's a specialist project, right? So in terms of monetizing Web3, now what's happening here is there's a competition going on. There are decentralized protocols. You've got AI agents doing this now. And I don't see a unique value proposition, if I'm being honest with you. Turtle is the first distribution protocol that monetizes the Web3 activity. Cato does that. I think CookieDAO does that. But specifically wallets, I probably, wallet specific, yeah, that's quite unique. Liquidity, they deploy, and yields they earn, swap, make roots. You never know, man. I don't like buying specialist cryptocurrencies right now. The focus should well be on things like general purpose layer ones and specific AI projects, maybe RWA projects that will have good yield and stuff like that, or sorry, good potential, but never know. I mean, it could be a narrative, right? Bro said Beam or Ronin. I think, look, Ronin is good, but Beam, I think Beam is going to be the top dog along with IMX. I think it might even dethrone IMX at some point. Do you see Tau at ETH prices range anytime soon? I think the top of the cycle was meant to be around the current ETH prices, right? It was perfectly plausible for exit of $2,500 to $5,000 for Tau, and I'm absolutely in no doubt it will go there. Absolutely no doubt. Let's have a look. Smash a like, guys. Smash the like button. Share and subscribe and share the content. Let me show myself for once. So let's have a look. What are we looking at, guys? We are looking at, so props. Look, it's a small RWA project, right? So when you look at RWA projects in terms of relative strength, props is a project that I have a small bag of. Right now, it's at $4 million market cap, right? But, and look at the chart. So it's on Aptos and Base. Aptos is at $2. I can't see where I would right now tell you this is a crazily bullish project, purely because of the fact that Ondo, and I do have it, I do own a small bag of props. Now, Ondo is coming back down, and it's at what, 53 cents? It is way bigger at 1.6 billion. But if you look at what's happening here, and again, I'm not comparing the two projects, but what I'm seeing people do, the mistake that people do is they don't learn from the past mistakes. So when the prices come down, full attention. Like, I do have a small bag of props, but I'm going to ignore it for now. Let that shit do whatever it wants to do, because I know this is not the time to really kind of grab micro caps in the hope that one day they will start going ballistic, right? What I want to do is add quality projects that I can hold in a bear market. Let's be honest. And if I tell you anything else, then I'm lying to you. Facts. I'm talking shit to you. I'm telling you to go and burn your money. So while I hold a small bag of props, right now, I would probably focus all my attention into the leading project of any kind of category that I'm watching that could go at least return me a sure bet 10x. Get 5 or 6 of these projects to give you a 10x, and then one of your lottery tickets will absolutely go do violent numbers for you, right? But we have to change as investors, and we really have to pay attention to the space, because not all projects are made equal. Okay, hope that answers your question, bro. Yes, I do see a chance of a little pump in December. Why? Because we're going to have to come back and test the 50 EMA at some point. I think that is going to be that's going to be a fact that happens, which is currently sitting around this level here. So I think everybody will get bullish again, but then would have to be really, really careful with what happens. Look, tap liquidity. What happens if we tap this green line? Again, I had this chart drawn out, share this with the group. If we tap this, then the chances are this is 90K to about 88K. If we break this liquidity level, this institutional order block, then we are going down further. But until otherwise, right, this is a little kind of descending, people are just calling for the hopium. I think we just need to be pragmatic. If we come back and test the higher levels or the 50-week moving average once again, I think we'll do we should take some stuff off the table, especially the dead weight. QT ended in December, hasn't been confirmed at all, but he did say that they need to come out and say it, basically. So we'll watch the Fed minutes. So you wouldn't hold a low fee too. Look, I hold low fee because I think low fee is a chain leader, right? I hold Toshi. So equally, it's kind of like, okay, the bag is way too big for me to get rid of right now. And if it goes to 50 cents or if it goes to 20 cents, the conviction to have a chain leader like a Pepe, I hold Pepe from 2023. I hold Toshi early days till now. And I'm up on Toshi, and I'm ever so slightly up on Lofi. So I think the difference is I guess the difference is the average where it sits in my portfolio. But fundamentally, if I'm bringing new money to the market today, I'm going to go and buy some really good projects because I understand the space is going to reward. Think about it. Most people turn their noses up at a 10x or 7x or whatever it might be. 500%, 1,000% on your money is ridiculously good. And then if you align in terms of risk versus reward, right? So you've got your smaller coins, and you're not betting all on the small coins, but they are your lottery tickets, and you're buying your towels and your, I don't know, Ondo finances or Airdrome finances because liquidity is going to find those first, right? So yeah, guys, we've done another 1 hour, 30 minutes of a brilliant live stream. I wanted to thank you guys. Any other questions, any other coins, do let me know. And we could definitely look at some more. Still got some energy. Energy. But yeah, 92, like, you know, Cave said, we've just hit a CME gap. And appreciate you, bro. If you want us to do another stream tomorrow, put ones in the comments or thumbs up, or at least like the stream, guys. Otherwise, we'll definitely end it here. But we can do another live stream tomorrow. Appreciate you. I was just checking a little photo of our daughters. Much love. You guys need to come back to Dubai. Thank you so much, guys. God bless you all. And yeah, I'll catch you. I'll definitely catch you tomorrow. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Mbelta, Steve, Pratik, Cave, Pete, Mr. Peter, you know, ATM, and the rest of you. Thank you so much, Cave. God bless you all, guys. And yeah, I'll check that EDL. Edel sounded like the EDL. Definitely will check that. Ciao, guys. We'll do another live stream tomorrow. Don't lose hope. Just stay intelligent, and just make sure you take the information and don't listen to anything that's too hyperbolic. Stay cool, stay calm, and yeah, take care, fam. Thank you. Good night.